But then I realized the audience, right? This is for adults at this point with the cards that came out. So I had to switch the audience. Needless to say, what we have here, the first card that came out was thank you. It says never made love before. And then we have spirit animal. So then from here, I'm going to go through. You may be a Taurus. You may be dealing with a Taurus. I'm sorry, let me do this really quick. So I usually start with the Oracle card first. Excuse me. What the hell's going on? So let's pull an Oracle card before I dig in. So we can get adjusted to the energy. You could be seeing 79. You could be seeing 333, 111, 222, 411, 1144. You could have just used some Palo Santos today. You could have met someone with very unique eyes that you don't usually see every day. You could have just met someone with something unique about them. You could have just met someone who really stood out from your everyday person, almost like a main character. What is the Oracle message? Hello, people. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. I have a message if you're here. So, we have skill. So, with this Egyptian Gods Oracle deck, we have skill. And when we talk about skill, I want you to see the cards that came out earlier. Just because I want you to see that this is real, okay? So the word, what came out is skill, okay? The first card that came out was thank you for your skill. And then it says, never made love before. And then we have Taurus. And then we have gay for pay. Those are the cards that came out. Take what resonates and leave what does not, okay? We have spirit animal. You might have a pet. But basically skill came out, and I wanted to pull from the Oracle to channel the energy that's going to come from these cards. So we started off with skill, okay? What else do we have for the collective today? Don't forget to double tap that screen for the exchange of energy if you want me to tap into your energy. It's as simple as double tapping the screen, giving me your likes, sharing a little bit of your energy with me so I can know what I'm tapping into here. That is all that is required. Not asking for your money. Just to double tap. I would greatly appreciate it. So we have higher self. So it says skill and higher self. So when I see skill and higher self, I think of Maybe you're in a place right now where you're questioning everything. You're questioning your senses. You're seeing different things on your page that's making your mind think of things in a way where expansion, right? So you're in a expanded state where you can, it's like you're removing certain residue in the mind so that you can really tap into your creativity in a way. So it's like you tapping into this creativity, you might be imagining things, and then maybe within the day or within the week, whatever it was that was in your imagination actually appears itself to you in a way, and you're like, wow, what is that? Is that deja vu? And it's no, it's because you have a magnet here. You are a magnet. You are magnetism, and because you are magnetism, you have to very much so be careful of where you put your focus. You have to be careful of how you're being programmed in a way where what you know, all this news, all these things they put in front of you today, you have to be very careful, because your higher self is going to rely on you and what you give your focus to. So your higher self is basically saying, tap in. It's saying that you have some gifts here that have been laying dormant. And no, it's not about you seeing other people who are gifted. It's about you finding out the gift that lies within. Finding out the gift that lies within you. How is everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are in the greatest of energy, the greatest of spirit today, because I see how things are happening in the world today where if you're not careful, you can be easily affected by the things that they put in front of you. So I just want you to know to observe. Observe without letting it absorb your energy. Learn how to observe without being affected. Because when you can be affected by what you observe, whatever that is that you're observing, if its intentions were to affect you, that's how it gets you. By you being affected, by you being in fear, by you being in some way where you're at odds with yourself. So know your power and how you are a magnet. You are okay, spirit. It's giving me like you're a magnet. It's like you have the gift of magnetism. It's like you could go into a store somewhere where you might not see many people. And I've been hearing about this thing lately. So it may be a thing, but you may be a person who go in the store, you be the first person in, and you go pick up your things. By the time you got your things, you go to the counter and now it's a line. And it's like, you don't understand that you coming into this business is what's attracted others to this business. In a way, it's almost like you can go find a guy at a fruit stand or something like that, and he could be having a bad day, but because you have the gift of magnetism, you can sit with this person, and just your energy being in this environment will attract revenue for this man. You know, he'll probably look at you and be like, wow, I need you to come more often. I need you to come visit me, you know, because, you know, he sees it in you. He knows about magnetism, but he doesn't know that you know. So it's like, you know, be very careful with your energy right now. Wait a minute, we got suspect out here. We got higher self and suspect. We got ghosted, cuddle buddy. Higher self, suspect, ghosted, and cuddle buddy. So it's like your higher self already told you that whoever it was that you possibly were dealing with, or whatever situation you were just involved in, may have been you know, you probably were being optimistic, but somewhere along in the line in the back of your mind, you probably thought in a way where it's like, damn, this really isn't for me, or damn, this could really, you know, you probably seen certain traits and you probably just didn't want to believe it. And maybe, you know, this was a cuddle buddy, maybe it was somebody who brought comfort to you, but if they ghosted you, it's almost like you already seen that coming. It's almost like you knew already what was to expect, right? And here goes a blank page. But yeah, those are blank pages. We have Queen here. If I had a car, I'll pick you up. Oh, where would we go? Where would we go? Queen, and then we have Needy Fling out here. Needy Fling, an overseas account. Queen, Needy Fling, overseas account, and then we have Starseed. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have Starseed, insurance scam, and you were right. Let me know if this is resonating with y'all. I'm just pulling from the cards as I feel led to pull. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat so that I can pick up on your energy. I'm doing free readings for subscribers, and I'm doing donation-based readings. I don't really charge for my readings. I'm just doing what I feel led to do for the collective today. Selfless acts of kindness. Because you're 1 in a billion, right? Earlier I was hearing what was the reason, and then I heard you don't need to know the reason. A person who's showing you something isn't going to give you the reasons and why they showed you. It's for you to sit with yourself and contemplate, why are you seeing this? What is the experience? What is it that you need to take from this to learn from it? Because everything is a learning experience, right? Namaste. Namaste. Thank you very much. I see you. But yeah, we have needy fling. They feel as if you are 1 in a billion, honey. But it's like, okay, when I see insurance scam, needy fling, it's almost like a person can come off like they really like you, but it's a scammer. It's a person who possibly uses some type of art of manipulation to get what they want. You know, they come off needy. They come off as if they love what. It's like somebody sees an okay, so what we have here is an opportunist. That's what I'm getting. We have an opportunist here in the deck. They say you were right. But yeah, it's an opportunist somewhere along the lines who is attached to a star seed. They may have made an overseas account in your name, and you might even be in a space where it's just not coming to light. You're just not seeing something. What happened here? If I had a card, let's see. Let me just see what the hell is going on today. I like and subscribe. Thank you for your like and your subscribe. Okay, Spirit, let's pull from the tarot. Because my little deck over here, put her to the side. Divine light, shine bright, be clear, be near. Oh. Woo. Okay, I'm just gonna show it to y'all because this one had came out. But it's the sun. I just said divine light, shine bright, and then we got the sun out here. Like, yeah, Leo energy. Leo energy with the Knight of Cups. So it's happiness, triumph, festivities, optimism, success, vitality, fun, truth, fire energy. This is a yes card. And then we have Knight of Cups, romance, charming, graceful, innovation, following your heart and your dreams. Well, that looks like following your heart and your dreams looks like it's going in your favor right now. And I'm hearing that, yeah, a lot of times when you're doing new things, that thing that feels uncomfortable is just you not knowing if it's going to work out. But Spirit is saying, do it anyway. Go out there and have that experience. Maybe somebody had you like this at one point in time. At one point in time, I'm sure that a lot of us have been that way. Down and out. Got all these knives stuck in your back. Because of a knife stuck in the back is from you once giving your trust to someone. And them basically exactly what it is. Knives in the back. But then it's like finding direction, confidence, expansion. So it's like having the confidence to start all over after something went wrong, that will make that, especially if people had some type of part and play in why things were not supposed to go right. When you pick yourself back up from what looked like was supposed to break you, the people who thought that they were breaking you, really, that's what fucks them up, is that you actually got up again. You actually still out here trying. You out here still trying. It's like, what the fuck? You got people literally going all to these people, trying to go get people to do shit to try to get ahead of you. And it's like, I just heard, but God, though. People trying to get ahead of you, but God, though. God, guess what? People play with God so much, you know, and I feel like if God be for you, who could be against you, you know? And it's like those people who come up against you feel like God has forsaken them. Those people who have come up against you, they feel like they have to go through other entities and deities to get to what they seek in life, because at somewhere along the lines, they know that they fell short from God's. They fell short from what their promise was to God, to where they don't like to talk about God. They don't like to express love for God because they feel like either God doesn't see them in a way where other people are seen, or, you know, it's that whole thing. We live in that world where people are so, and I was just saying this the other day. I was thinking, like, you know, when people talk to God, a lot of people ask either for protection or they ask for some type of want, you know, someone wanting something in some way. You know, it's like people come to God, ask them for manifestations. They ask God for all of these different things. But it's like, if you were to come to God and actually be like, you know what, God, I would actually like to get to know you. You know, God, what actually am I here for? Because I know that I've come so far. I didn't come so far just to come so far, just to come farther and be all the way out in the middle of nowhere, and you just leave me like that. So guess what? When you do feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere and you feel left, you feel abandoned, you feel like all odds are against you, it is that very thing that is faith. Your faith in what you don't see. Your faith in what you don't know. Because a lot of times life is expecting you to take that chance, but because you haven't seen nobody else take that chance and you feel like you living life through the lenses of what other people have done, it's keeping you from being the greatest. It's keeping you from being the greatest in your own lane, the greatest in your own field. So it's like when you feel as if it's something that you have a purpose or a calling or a duty or something that's really laying on your heart for you to do, and you just keep allowing it to just, I'll do it later, I'll do it another day, I'll do it another day, or then the other day come and then you see somebody else doing what you were supposed to do. How are you set? How does that sit with you, knowing that I have something to do? But instead of me doing what God is telling me to do, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'll tell you right now, guess what? I have been distracted. I have been very distracted lately, but I can't blame my distractions. One thing that came to me within the distractions is that it showed me, like in the Matrix, they show you who agents are. You know, it'll be times when I'm trying to meditate or something like that, and then it'll be somebody opening the door or trying to distract me or doing something in a way where if I was alone, that wouldn't happen, right? If I was alone, I wouldn't be so distracted. So sometimes you have to simply isolate yourself. Sometimes you got to go get a room just to be in your own zen, you know, because really we're magnetic beings. We carry frequencies in our energy. And a lot of times people who live in apartments, them small, that's why they made apartments so much smaller and so much more expensive, is because they want to keep you in chaos with trying to keep up with the bills while you can't even manage your own energy because you have someone else's energy above you, below you, and beside you, to where you're never or no longer, you're not in your own energy. And people don't know that it's necessary to go outside and ground, go hug a tree, go touch some grass, because people today, they're so worried about what are people thinking, what are they going to say? And it's like, who cares what they say? As long as you're in alignment, as long as you get that energy up off of you that does not belong, so that you can actually sit with yourself and make sense of what's there. A lot of times we have so much shit that's there and we can't make sense out of it because we haven't grounded, because we haven't took those necessary steps. We steady look at other people and say, well, it works for them, it works for them. Well, if it works for them, what's the problem in you trying something new? What's the problem in you know, Three of Swords. It's giving heartbreak, separation, sorrow, emotional pain, heart problems, betrayal, upset, loss, trauma, tears. It's like, if this is what you're coming from, then understand that the people who hurt you aren't coming to help you. So it's only so long we can actually stay here. Staying in this space is only for us to sit there long enough to learn from it. We only sit in this space long enough to understand that what happened to me, no, I didn't necessarily deserve it. And because I didn't deserve it, I'm not going to claim it. But what I will do is I'll accept it. I'll accept it for what it did. I'll accept it for what version it has developed me to be. Because within me experiencing this now, I come out more wiser. I come out more stronger, because guess what? Before I went through that, I thought that type of shit would break me. But guess what? I've been through that. And because I've been through that, guess what? It didn't break me. And because it didn't break me, that is something to celebrate. That is something to celebrate, honey. Because guess what? People won't celebrate you. And if they do, great. You have that type of support, great. But in reality, you shouldn't be looking for applauses. You're supposed to be working on your... They said you're supposed to be working with your spirit team. You shouldn't be looking for applauses out there. Because when you're different, no, they're not going to applaud you. Not until other people applaud. Because it's only cool when others get involved, right? When it's just you and those, you know, like say, for instance, I got 5 likes right now. Thank you to these 5 likes. Why is that? It's because I don't necessarily do it for the likes. But if I'm reaching you and I'm teaching you, you know, I want to see that I'm not just doing shit just to be doing. I'm playing with God, playing with them cards. God is these cards. God is these cards. God is everything, sweetie. But the thing that you need to find out is, why is it that because you don't understand something, you're quick to judge what you don't understand? Versus try to figure out, like, hey, what's the cards about? Versus try to really literally put that unhealthy ego aside to say, well, this is something that I don't understand. And because I don't understand it, I'm willing to. Excuse me. But see, the thing is, people, they hate what they don't understand. And then they go jump on a hate train with all these other miserable beings who possibly work very hard in life, but no matter how hard they work, they're still unsatisfied. And with them being unsatisfied, they find other people in life who's doing different things, and they find their own little niche. And because other people just have yet to find that thing that's special about them, they'd rather shun you for finding something special about you. Ain't that nothing? Talk about God. Baby, you don't... You know what? But see, then that would mean that I'm like you if I was to sit here and tell you about you, and I don't know you. I don't know you to speak about you. I don't care to know people who feel like they know it all and turn out to not know shit. That's not where I would prefer to be in life. I would prefer to be shuffling through these cards, channeling the energy, and helping people. Selfless acts of kindness. 23 was just on the timer. Selfless acts of kindness. 23 is 5. Selfless acts of kindness. People don't know shit about being kind today. People want to accept kindness, don't understand how you have to give that. You have to put that out in the universe to bring it on in. It's a give and take world, honey. And if I haven't learned shit else in life, I learned about karma. I can teach you a lot about karma. One way my mother raised me, she raised me to say, baby, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Because the power of the tongue, honey, why would you play with the power of the tongue? You do know it's a whole group of people somewhere who don't speak. What are they, the monks? They don't speak. They don't talk. Because they know the power of the tongue. They communicate telepathically. Which we all had and have the ability to do. It's all about your frequency. If you're there, if you're rising, right? Because in order to rise, you can't come into spaces where you don't know these people and you coming in judging, right? I feel like sometimes God puts certain things in front of people's face to test the love of God in them. People want to talk about God, but they don't carry the love of God in them. They don't. And they want to sit here and make a fool of me. Find something better to do, boo. You can go get you a coloring book or something. Go play with some toys or something. Go to the Dollar Tree. Go find you some dollar toys. Find something to do. But don't do it here. It's not safe. I wouldn't advise it. Coming on my channel with that bullshit. Anyways, I hope that what I'm saying helps in any way, shape, or form or fashion. And if you don't, if you know somebody who this may help, feel free to, spread the word. Because I'm doing God's work. Okay? For the people who rather listen to music versus listen to the voice inside. For the people who rather be distracted in all the things and ignore the tide, right? But it's like, what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, baby. But one thing about it is that 3 is a crowd. 3 is a crowd. So when you trying to, I'm going to look at this like this is church. This is my church card right now. Why is that? It's because that was a topic. So when we talk about people who want to talk about God, and meanwhile, this is a Capricorn card, 3 of Pentacles. But it's very much so someone looking for some answers in ways where they almost feel shallow for not knowing. So they go to a person who practically recycles old information to try to come up to date with what's going on in reality, which is a lot of just their reflection. They aren't really tapping into the divine. They aren't connected. They aren't the one. A lot of these people, they go to these places trying to get the word. And then the word was the word last month, or the word was the word 10 years ago, or the word was the word 100 years ago. And it's like, okay, yeah, true that. Certain words today still it still applies. But when the people are trying to come somewhere to really get some direction and get some type of knowledge of the now, because of course we can talk about the past. Of course we could talk about shit that's already happened. We could talk about whatever. But when I'm getting in these cards, honey, it's giving me the now. It's giving me the now. And see, that's the thing. People don't know how to go within. People rather judge. People rather say, well, my parents didn't do it that way. My thing is, regardless of what your parents did, regardless of what you've seen in this world, what is your experience? What is your experience? Because my experience is going to be different than yours. Guess what? I could be doing anything right now. But I'm sitting right here trying my best to use my vessel in a way where I can get a message out to the divine. But when you have people who say that they are of God and they come in and use God as a weapon to try to distort me from knowing what I know and being who I am, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of that? I've never found that to be, I just, whatever. They said move along. I'm sorry. I can't even talk about this right now because I know where this is going. It's some personal stuff right here. So let me shuffle these damn cards, okay? Woo! Actually, you know what? We're going to go for the reverse the tarot. We're going to go for the reverse. 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 And then I'm going to go into this other deck over here. But, yeah, let me just see what is going on right now. Oh, okay, so these cards go this way. Wait a minute. Okay. What the fuck was that? Okay, so my candle just went out here. But that's okay. You know, I've always dealt with those who throw shade and try to put my light out, honey, but we keep a match. We keep a match. And that's what you gotta know. All right, so let's get back into shuffling these cards. What we got for the reverse scales tarot today for the collective spirit? Give me one card, one card. One card, one card, one card. Who am I reading for right now? One card, give me one card. Feel free to put your questions in the chat if you feel as if, you know, you don't want to get too personal in the chat, right? Because then some people, you know, yeah, I'm doing yes or no questions, and yeah, I do my best to give you answers today. I'll do my best, because that's what we do. Actually, because yeah, we had a little haterade going on around here. Clear out the energy. Hell going on here? All right, whatever. So the Four of Cups keeps wanting to come out. I haven't pulled it yet. I just keep seeing it as I'm shuffling. So it's like, try not to ruminate over what didn't go right once upon a time. Try to be open to love. It is a new season, honey. It is a new year. Happy New Year, okay? April 1st is coming in. That's the first month of the new year this year, right? And you know, you just wanna really be at peace with this next chapter in your life. Be at peace with the past, because you don't want, for whatever that garsh, I don't even know what garsh is, but you don't want to be in a space where all that gook and dirt and things that people try to smear all over you, you carry that into this new chapter. Rather it's love, rather it's business relationships, rather it's you learning something new, rather it's you diving into spirituality, whatever it is, try to wipe those people's opinions up off of you. Try to be okay with being okay with yourself, knowing, rather you're walking alone in the physical, you're not alone, honey. You're not alone. And if you're here, a lot of times people's spirit guides bring them to me because they know that I have a message in some way, shape, or form. And I do my best, my abilities to play that to people. But I keep saying this Four of Cups. So what I'm getting from that is that it's like, you know, you don't want to be your own reason for why things didn't go right in your life, because you don't know how to release from the things that no longer serve you. Those things that no longer serve you could look a lot like people's broken promises. And because someone broke a promise at one point in time, you may look at that and think as if you're unworthy, when that is not the case. People sometimes make promises that they can't keep. And that's why last week we were talking about be careful with people who make promises and underdeliver. Because if you get your hopes up high for something that's been promised to you, then that's potentially a recipe for a disaster. For you to take that and carry it to the future thinking that, oh, people are shit people. I would never want to listen to a person's promise. I would never want to. But the thing is that no matter what happens, to stay optimistic, to stay in that vibration, that just because that's them doesn't mean that's everybody. And once we shift our perspective from it being everybody to that just being them, we unlock something there and we allow the universe to show up and balance the scales. We allow the universe to show up and balance those scales, honey. Because a lot of times we be thinking that we got to get even with a motherfucker. We got to do this, we got to do that. No, guess what? The universe will balance the scales every time. When you have good intentions, when you can be an intentional person about how you show up in life, how you are with others, and how you want your legacy to be, you know, known. When you're intentional about that, you tend to wind up attracting people's darkness because you're living through intention. You would tend to, you know, it's like you could be trying something and you could tell somebody something about something and then they'll be like, well, why you want to do that? And to their why, you'd be like, well, why not? To their why, you'd be like, well, why not? Why wouldn't I want to do that? You know, ain't nobody ever did it before and I feel like I'm capable of doing it. But, you know, be careful of those people who don't believe in you. Be careful of those people who will already count you out from what you're trying to put yourself into. What we got, Spirit? We have the Six of Cups, honey. Okay, so for the Six of Cups for the reverse skills, let me just read in this book. Because the Six of Cups, let's see. Remembering childhood is always important and necessary, provided that you have a feeling of comfort, warmth, and security. It is sometimes pleasant to transfer thoughts to childhood as it is sometimes I'm sorry, wait a minute. It is sometimes pleasant to transfer thoughts to childhood and as then to feel carefree and full of trust in the world. Even as you become an adult, the world still cares about you. Excuse me for chopping that up. The world still cares about you. So it's like what we were getting earlier. Damn, I forgot what card that was I put earlier, but the world still cares about you. So when okay, so it was the Four of Cups that I seen earlier. So the Four of Cups was you feeling like all hope has been lost, feeling like you had really, maybe you was in a place where you were asking for help and people could help you, but they just rather not. They just rather you figure it out on your own because they figured that if they were to help you, then you'd be more successful than them, and then that'll make them have to go to work a lot earlier than you. I just heard. People have to go to work earlier than you to get half of what you got. And because people have to go to work earlier than you and do overtime more than you, that's something for you to give yourself a pat on the back. Because it's like, for what's effortless to you, other people only wish that they had it inside. But it's saying that the world, I always mix that. I don't know why I slaughtered the world. The world still cares about you. So maybe you have been feeling like some type of loss. So it's like remembering who you are, remembering that once you drop what doesn't serve you, what's for you can only be yours. Look, the Fool card. The Fool card is saying, take that leap of faith. Take that leap of faith and be. This Fool card. This Fool card is saying that, yeah, this leap of faith may be bigger than me. The leap of faith may be to a point where you may be really jumping off a cliff going into a different I'm talking about jumping off a cliff. Of course, no, absolutely not. I did not. Don't do that at all. But when I mean by jumping off the cliff, I mean that in a way where it's like, it's so high up here, and it's like, you know, when you're at a certain level somewhere, it's like things appear to be small from up top, right? Things appear to be small from up top. And it's like, it's a lot of small shit that happened on your way that you shouldn't forgive. And it's saying that you done dealt with all the small shit. Now it's time to see what you're made of. See what you're made of. Because life is not about what you got for somebody else. It's about how much of life can you actually live. How much of life can you actually live? How much of life can you actually experience? How much of life can you actually learn, you know? Because they spent most of our lives teaching us things that don't matter. It's not going to get us where we want to go. It's not going to benefit us really in the long run. I may be speaking to an earth angel. And you may be in a space where it's like you done traveled everywhere and you feel as if this world isn't big enough for you. You may feel like, you probably look on the map and you probably be like, well, I want to go here, I want to go there. But then it's like, oh, even if I go there, it's like, you feel like otherworldly. You don't feel like you belong here. You feel like, you know, some type of, that's why they said, don't forget that the world cares about you. And now we got this Temperance Earth Angel. It's giving, why did this pop up? This Earth Angel is giving, you probably really carry the burden of others at one point, and that became very hard for you. And carrying those burdens, you felt like breaking free was you traveling and starting all over, or you just getting away from the chaos and what you, maybe you were in a space in a city town somewhere where things were just so chaotic that you just really just felt like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen, right? So now I'm ready to take a leap of faith. I'm ready to go somewhere. I'm ready to just go. And it's like, once you be the fool, play a fool, catch a fool, or it's like, okay, so this isn't play a fool, catch a fool. This is you being a little delusional. It's like sometimes we got to get a little, that's what imagination is. You using your imagination, being a little delulu on this next thing. It's like, this could be something that you only dreamed of. This could be something that you never even told anybody about. But it's something that's so dear to you that you like, you know what? Everything else has failed. These people have failed me. So within these people failing me, that leap of faith, you taking that leap of faith, you're going to find out that you have wings, right? Because we was talking about jumping from a cliff earlier. And when you jump from that cliff, honey, it's going to be, sweetie, you have wings. You see those big old red wings back there? It's giving Archangel Michael energy. But the temperance, people might look at the temperance and some people could feel like they want to be an earth angel and they could envy that. But the thing about wanting to be an earth angel is that you have to know everything that comes with being an earth angel. Earth angels tend to have it the hardest with their family because they were supposed to be the glue. Earth angels tend to have it hard with their stability because the reason why they have hard times with their stability is because God wants you to be in so many different places that a lot of times he don't never get you comfortable, because if you being comfortable shows that your human self would get complacent and being in one space when God wants you everywhere. He wants you all around the place. He wants you to, if you trust God and you can literally be in that space where it's like, you know what? I don't really have no direction right now, God, but if you just, I'm going to allow you to direct me. I'm going to allow you to push me in the way where you want me. When you can show up like that in the world, wow, that's powerful. I'm going to say that because once upon a time, I'll tell this little story. Once upon a time, I was in this city and all their hotels had sold out, and it was a Valentine's Day weekend. And all the fucking hotels in the city had sold out to where I had to leave the city. And when I had to leave the city, I didn't book a ticket. I just got to the bus station because I figured I would go to the next town, so I'll just catch a bus. I went to the bus station and I'm sitting at the bus station and I'm just thinking like, where do I want to go? And I'm just like, I'm talking to God. I'm like, you know what? I don't know where I want to go right now. I didn't expect this to happen. But knowing that everything happens for a reason. Ooh, I'm getting touchy right now. Knowing that everything happens for a reason, right? So I was talking to God. I said, I'm just going to let you lead me right now. And I sat down in the smoking section at the bus station. And it's this guy, he's talking about it's his birthday. He's all like, it's my birthday, you guys. And I'm like, oh, wow, happy birthday, He was smoking Cuban cigars. And he had went on to tell me that he had just got out of prison. He had did 13 years in prison. And I was like, wow, that's so good. Welcome home. And, he had told me that he had been out for like 3 months or whatever like that. And he had went down to this particular city for his birthday and hung out with his friends and stuff like that. And he's really just one of those people who's really about family. And, he's just, after being locked down for so long, you feel like you didn't live life. So it's like, he felt the need to live life. He felt like, I'm just going to say that God was using me this day because this small town, they only had buses leaving out at certain hours. So I wound up letting all the buses leave to practically, I'm sitting with this guy. It's his birthday. I'm just sitting with him. In the beginning, I ain't gonna lie. As an empath, sitting next to this person, feeling his energy, I'm trying to keep him out of my energy. But he kept turning to me, just being he was a very high vibrational being. I'm not gonna lie. His vibrations, I could feel it just sitting next to him. But it's like I'm just trying to block him out. He had on yellow. And I just kept looking at it like Oshun energy. Like, okay, he's so vibrant and full of life. And I'm just kind of down because I'm like, God, I don't know why. I feel like I'm being tortured right now. And it was just like, okay, trust God, right? So in that very moment, I decided to speak to the man. I decided to just hear him out, see what he got to say. And he's like, yeah, I've been out since such and such and such and such. He's telling me how beautiful I am and all these other things and how he got this big ass house. And he ain't got nobody to share it with. And how he's different and how he's this and how he's that. And I'm just like, I've been single for a very long time now. And technically I'm not in a space to just be going off of what a man got. It's like, who are you as a character? I would have to really get to know somebody right now in my life. It's not about what you got or what you want to do with me. It's about who are you. So if we can get to that point, great. Needless to say, we talk for hours. And I see him passing something with his friend, okay, so is we listening to the story? Okay, so let me just go a little bit deeper in the story. So while I'm sitting in the bus station, this man has a cane corso. This guy just keeps walking with this cane corso. I'm trying to eat my food, and he letting his dog just walk freely. He didn't have a dog on a leash. So needless to say, I kind of automatically felt some type of way towards this man because I'm like, you're so rude letting your dog walk right next to me while I'm eating and this dog is drooling walking past me. But I never said nothing to the man. Needless to say, this particular same guy who Spirit basically gave me the watch out for him type of vibes. Needless to say, he was with the guy who I've been hanging with this whole day. And they started smoking, which I thought was weed because it was wrapped up in a little paper. And this is why you don't smoke with people who you didn't see roll with. This is why you do not smoke with people who you did not see roll that shit. And even if you smoke your own shit, okay? If you want to smoke, if you want to do some shit, do your own shit. Be careful out here sharing shit with people, and make sure that when you is in that space, even if you got to watch people, okay? Because this man didn't watch this person. He just looked at and it's so funny because I kept pulling up familiar seat in my cards the other day. Needless to say, Spirit said that I had predicted this, right? They said this was predictable because when I had seen the guy, I'm like, I gotta watch him for some reason. Needless to say, he put some shit in them weed that my friend was smoking, and he's live and having fun and shit. Next thing you know, he's standing up and he just screams, and I'm looking at him like, it's his birthday. He having a good time, whatever. He just started screaming. But then he's screaming. He locked up. His whole body locked up. And he was going down. He hit the ground with his knees first. And I'm looking at his people, which I thought was his people. I'm thinking these people is his friends because they've been hanging all together. I don't just know him. Needless to say, they all watched his ass hit the ground. They all watched him. They all just watched. Who gonna do something? Everybody looking at each other like, who gonna do something? And I felt obligated, being that I've been hanging with this man all day today. It's his birthday, and this man gonna knuckle up and go down to the ground. I am a first responder. So the fact that I'm a first responder and I'm looking at these people like, ain't nobody gonna do nothing, excuse me, because I'm remembering emotions. But being a first responder, the guy, I had to, basically, he went into shock, and I had to relax him because he was clenching his jaw too much. And within the process of him clenching down on his jaw, he began to vomit. And within him vomiting, he was choking on his vomit. So I had to literally put my fingers down his throat, hold his jaw open so that it could come out while I'm trying to, and this guy was heavy, and I'm trying to lean him to the side so that the throw up can come out. This is a crazy situation. But remember, I asked God to use me. I asked God to lead me. I asked God to show me why things happened the way that it did. And in that very moment, I realized, wow, I just saved a man's life tonight. I just saved a man's life tonight. And it was just, it just really, it made me feel in that moment that at this point in my life, I refuse to get frustrated at things that don't work out anymore. I refuse to allow myself to get frustrated when a situation may occur and it look like it's supposed to be something and it's not. I release it. I detach from it. Because when we do that, that initially keeps us in alignment. That keeps us in alignment. That keeps the flow going. Because when we spend our time trying to cling to something or attach to an idea or a thing or a situation, person, place, or thing, a lot of times they're sending us out of alignment. It's reasons and things of why that did not work out. And I hope somebody catch this story right now, because I'm really hoping that I'm articulated in a way where people can see why all the hotels were booked up that day for a reason. I was right where I was supposed to be in that I was right where I was supposed to be because I surrendered. I surrendered. And with me surrendering, guess what? I became With me surrendering, God showed me my wings. But see, the thing is, a lot of times with us being flesh, with us being human, with us having free will, a lot of times we gonna do what the fuck we want to do because we can and we have the money to do, and we're gonna, whatever the case may be. But I was told to tell you that just because you can doesn't mean you should, honey. It's okay to be a young fool. Don't nobody want an old fool. Needless to say, this guy who I helped and who I saved his life, I didn't really have any plans that night on what I was going to do. Needless to say, because it was his birthday and because he didn't want to go to the hospital, of course, because the hospital ambulance did come. He's having to straighten himself out before the ambulance get there because he's not trying to get this hospital bill. He's not trying to do a lot of things. He's not trying to buy another book. I mean, he's not trying to buy another ticket to get home because it's already been booked. You know, the bus tickets, they're not going to refund it. Needless to say, I took it upon myself to say, you know what? I'm going to get you home. I'm going to get you home safe. I'm going to take this bus ride with you and we're going to get you home. And I'm going to monitor you. Just on some, I ain't got shit else to do. Like, why not? We've been hanging with each other all day today. Why not? He was cute. We never did anything, of course. But he was very handsome, and it was good to be of service. You know, it's like I'm a first responder, and it's like I finally had a situation where I had to use what I actually learned to save somebody's life. So that was very big to me. But needless to say, the whole moral of the story is to detach. Detach from other things that are pulling on your energy. Detach from outcomes and thinking that if this doesn't work for me, then it's got to be that. No. Whatever you want it to be, it will be. And sometimes it'll turn out a lot greater than what it appeared to be because you detached. We don't understand how when we detach from things, that shows the universe that we're worth more. We're worth better. We're worth bigger. We're worth it. We're more than worth it. We're overqualified. So when we do things, look, Queen of Cups. But see, her cup is empty, honey. Queen of Cups. It's like, honey, the queen, she done gave out all the things. She done poured to here and there, and she done got all the nights. And she done gave out from her cup. Mamas ain't got none for herself. What we gonna see? Queen of Cups? Let me see. The card represents a gentle and feminine person who strives to surround with the care, help you, or just to be close to you. The ability to create and the gift to discern are bestowed upon people who are able to recognize signs and clues left by spirit world. Wait a minute. The ability to be creative and the gift of discernment are bestowed upon people who are able to recognize signs and clues left by the spirit world. So it's like, now that I look at this Queen of Cups, it's like she's still the queen even though that cup is empty. because she knows that with her being the queen, she drinks from a cup that's plentiful. She drinks from a cup that is ever flowing. And the only reason why her cup would appear to be empty is because she knows that no matter how much she pours, her blessings, what God has in store for her, comes from the divine. This is non-gender specific. Queen of Cups, this is simply a nurturer. This is a nurturer who has poured out and giving and giving and giving. And it's like pouring out, giving and giving and giving. And it's like, okay, you learn a lot being a nurturer because you're in tune to overstand situations. And it's what you understand, it's what you dig into, it's what you go into introspection about that. Actually, that's why I said, what was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason? I was thinking like, what was the reason? And it's like sometimes you asking somebody what was the reason, they're not going to give you the reason. They don't have to give you the reason. The reason will be when you sit and you think to yourself, I ain't had no business messing with them people. Why am I steady in this cycle? And once you realize what version of you that's on this cycle, and you realize what adjustments need to occur for you to get out of this cycle, I see Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. I'm not taking these cards. It's too many. So, I'm sorry. We're going to start from the first to the, yeah. So the first card that came out was a Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, it's like you're trying to, sorry. With this Two of Pentacles, it's like, it's not only that okay, so it's, yeah, of course, juggling. But in reality, okay, let me just read Two of Pentacles. And then I'll give y'all what I'm getting. Oh, goodness. I need to blow my nose. I'm sorry, y'all. I was crying a little bit. Just a little bit. And needless to say, that person whose life I saved, we don't even talk today. Because that's how our Earth Angel is. You'll never see me again. Oh, Two of Pentacles. Actually, give me 1 second, y'all. Still here. Thank you for still sticking with me. I really appreciate you. If you're still here, go ahead and put your name in the chat and I'll do a free reading for you for the ones who have stayed and sat here with me in my zen. But let's read these cards first. So we have the Two of Pentacles. Excuse me. Two of Pentacles. Where are we at? Swords, Cups, where the hell is the Pentacles at in here? Excuse me, I don't really use this deck, so bear with me, please. The Two of Pentacles. So this is juggling. So it's saying your desires are vague and uncertain. This prevents you from making the final choice and the right decision. Rather, you let the situation take its course or leave it in limbo. Neither of the ways can help you to get out of a quandary. I guess quandary would kind of be like pondering. Like quandering is kind of like, or quandering is, was pondering with the Q the whole time? I'm sorry. All these unnecessary confusion. All this unnecessary confusion leads you to a dead end. So unnecessary confusion can lead you to a dead end, right? But then they say the Hermit card. The Hermit card is all about, you see that light? You see that lantern right there, honey? It's giving very much so, I just heard take me to church. But instead of you, I mean, maybe you might be going to church. But instead of you going to church, honey, you're going to go within. You're going to find that light. And when you find that light, it's going to ignite something. It's going to, with you going within, it's like, I'm going to, whatever it is that you were juggling, it's like it's going to bring light to whatever it is that you were juggling. It's like, it's almost like you in a situation, in a pivotal point where it's like, if I gave the fuck that I have to give, what will be the benefit from behind it? And then once you juggle those two and saying, if I gave this fuck, oh, that's all that I would get back in return? Well, I don't have that fuck to give. And then, yeah, you feeling like you trapped in some type of space where it's like you can't say no to someone about something. Like as if I just heard the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. And it's like if you've been in a space where you just been yes, everything to keep somebody around, that is not healthy. Yes to everything, trying to yes a motherfucker to death and trying to make a person basically fall for what you're good for versus your heart, versus your soul, versus who you are. When you have people around you who are there only for the benefit, you need to be mindful of people who manipulate you knowing that you have a good heart because you're a giver. One thing I learned about being a giver is that sometimes it's for us not to give at all and see if they stick around. It's about consistency. But needless to say, with this Eight of Swords, honey, let's read it. Eight of Swords. By the end of a long and difficult journey, you are already exhausted. And you have no desire or aspirations left. Close your eyes and listen to your feelings. Then take a new path that your feelings point out to you. You just need to completely trust it. Trust your feelings. Because you got to think, when you got things coming up against you, if it's forcing you to choose you always going to choose you. And with you choosing you, no matter what the loss may appear to be, you always learn that you choosing you all you got, right? So when you all you got, you choosing you don't look so damn bad. Now do it. I don't think so. You choosing you. It looks like power. It looks like you taking your power back. I don't know who I'm reading for. But if you feel like this is you, you ain't got to like it, but you can definitely hit that little heart over there, right there for me to let me know that I'm saying something. Ace of Pentacles. And it's giving whatever that decision is that need to be made from you going with inside, it's going to be on the money. They said all you got to do is trust it. The thing is that a lot of shit in your life has showed you every reason why it wasn't never a reason to trust it. So that's the thing, is that you're learning how to rebuild trust, not only other people, but you're learning how to trust yourself. You learn how to trust yourself with your decision making. Because whatever it is that this is, maybe you have been, I heard giving people grace. You giving people grace. You letting people have more than what they deserve. has left you to feel without. And you feeling that feeling of without has had you conflicted with yourself, and with you being conflicted with yourself, it's like you thinking like, damn, I want to say no, but then if I say no, then it's like, damn, that's like, I don't know. And it's like, if you saying no means everything falls down, then let it fall. And then guess what? I hear that, I don't know, you're a hustler or something. You got some type of money. Some type of money action. It's something about you getting back towards what matters. You know, you getting out of your head. You getting back towards this. First of all, the Ace of Pentacles is bigger than all the Pentacles. The Ace is the numero uno, honey. It's giving very much so. Let's just look at it. Let's see. The Ace of Pentacles. The world and higher power grants you a happy chance that can change your life completely. The other worlds, it will turn everything upside down while putting everything in your right path. You will reach a higher level of stability and lasting well-being. What you have to do is to be open to the world and graceful for the gift. You deserve them. Be open to the world and graceful for the gifts. You deserve them. Therefore, you have gifts. And when you go within, from this, because guess what? This right here, it's going to force you to look at that light within. This right here, you all in your head. Swords is all about thoughts, might I add, right? So with all these swords, it's you versus you. It's not somebody else. It's not somebody actually it's not somebody really putting you in bondage. This bondage is you. You put yourself in this bondage. Nobody else but you. It's always going to be you versus you, baby. No matter who might appear to want to be your competition, you are always going to be your main battle. Look, judgment. Because we don't compete. All we do is go within and understand that with us going within and having intentions, God is going to grant someone a hefty lesson. Where there's day, there's night. It's duality. Good, bad. Motherfuckers is up to no good. Guess what? God is watching everything. So, no, they may not get their karma today. But understand that karma don't forget. Karma ain't forgot. And karma won't do the chosen. Like, see, the thing is, I'm hearing that, oh, you might be a chosen one. Maybe you have witnessed something where the divine has whooped your karmic's asses before, and you may be looking at the divine like, damn, okay, they still ain't got it yet. Oh, now you ready to go in there and do a candle. You ready to do something. It's like, no. No. We don't have to retaliate. We don't have to do anything to get back at someone because our backing is of the divine. Your blessings come from the divine. Everything with you living intentional, it's going to come from the divine. Hi. Very interesting story. You did a great deed. Thank you. Yes, I did. I believe that I did. I believe that, I've always wanted to help people, and it's like living in this one city, it was like the classes took forever to get to the class because I was going to work in hospice, helping, people, patients, I was going to help. I feel like that's the type of love and kindness I have in my heart, is just to simply do for people. Like, I don't lose nothing from loving total strangers. I don't lose nothing from giving a little bit, and understanding that I'm giving because I have it to give. I'm giving because I know that although I have it, someone else could do good with it. Because the thing is, God sometimes blesses us to bless others. God blesses us to be a blessing in other people's lives. But if we're sitting on all this blessing, and God didn't bless us plentiful to where we haven't even looked at the little people. We haven't looked at the people who were there for us when we were down. When we forget and do things like that, sometimes God will put your blessings on hold. And it's not to say that you're not blessed. It's just that with you living from a selfless place, that's how you get your waters to never run dry. Your waters will never run dry with you moving from a selfless place. I don't care what nobody tell you. And no, that don't mean I'm giving a person all my money. No, absolutely not. Selfless place means that I can put my ego to the side, which in me today, I am aware of my ego, right? It's one thing to have an ego and not be aware of it. It's another thing to have an unhealthy ego where everybody tells you about it, but you refuse to see it. And it's another thing to have an ego where you just feel like you're the king of the world. You can do whatever we want to do, but then in reality, you're a really shit person, right? So it's like, conflictions, right? With that ego. When we remove that ego, we realize that our heart lies right there where we have that ego. Our heart is right there. Our hearts are right there where that ego is, waiting to shine, waiting to be seen, waiting to be loved, waiting to receive, waiting to give. But the heart has just been waiting. And we see how time is flying. I just heard how much longer is it going to be? How much more longer is it going to take for you to get out your own damn way? Let that heart get some air. I don't know who I'm speaking to right now. Oh, witness. Come on, witness. Okay. Wait a minute. Do we have the Ace of Pentacles on here? Okay. So, yeah, we have Ace of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups in reverse. So usually I don't usually read cards in reverse, but because it came out in reverse, I'm not going to read it in reverse because this isn't even okay. Because this is the reverse scales tarot, right? So because this is already being reversed, I don't have to read it in reverse. So we're going to look at, okay, so the Ace of Pentacles was about, okay, let me read this again for the people who didn't see. The Ace of Pentacles, it was giving very much, let's get to the point of it. It says, you will reach a higher level of stability and lasting well-being. What you have to do is to be open to the world and grateful for its gifts. You deserve them. So with this Ace of Pentacles comes the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is all about wish fulfillment and attainment. It's all about you having more than what you asked for. You see how this guy's down here? And he's looking at everything in those cups like, wow. Look at that journey. I have a journey to go on here because it's like, wow. It's, you know, it's like you got something different in each cup. Can y'all drop y'all signs in the chat so I know who I'm talking to? Yeah, so it's like these are gifts in these cups as well. It's like with you going on this journey, certain gifts are going to unlock itself. With you going on this journey, certain opportunities are going to be given to you that you probably didn't even know to ask for. And that's why they're saying be open. That's why they're saying it's necessary to be open. It's necessary to be. The divine is saying, honey, because guess what? Where was we at? Oh, I put that card back already. Well, when we had the Four of Cups earlier, the Four of Cups was you basically crying over 3 cups that spilled, and the universe is sending you one, but you looking at that one like, you know what? I don't even want a cup right now because all the other cups, honey, they was trying to get me to drink the Kool-Aid, I just heard. Those other cups, honey, they was trying to, it was cups that wasn't fruitful. It wasn't nurturing. So you, after going through a certain season, it's like, yeah, the universe brings you this Ace of Pentacles. But it's saying that you have to be open to receive. Because it's like, yeah, you can do all the work that you can do. But sometimes certain blessings ain't meant to come through you. It's meant to come through other people. So you have to be open to receive. You have to be in a space where you're going out more often. If you're single, if you're tired of being single, go out more often. No, you don't have to go to the club. Maybe you can go to a bar. Maybe you can go out to restaurants. You know, you can just put yourself in spaces where you can meet new people that you can be aligned with. Maybe you might want to do art galleries. There's so many different things to do, right? But within the time that we have, when we spend all of our time on these devices and things like that, where we're captivated with all of our attention, how can our attention span towards the life that we're actually trying to go after? I'm sorry, am I talking to somebody right now? But yeah, this Seven of Cups is saying very much so, honey, the world is yours. It's giving very much so. Are you going to be able to receive it? Because although the world is yours, do you want it? Because maybe you might not want it. Maybe you might feel like me getting back out there is going to be the same thing that it's always been. But let me tell you something, honey, it ain't. Because we're in a new season. It's not going to be that, boo. It's not going to be that. It's going to be better. It's going to be greater. But you got to believe. It starts with your beliefs, honey. And that's why they said, are you the beliefs or the believer? Which one are you? Are you the beliefs or the believer? Because if you're the beliefs, you're going off what somebody told you to believe. You're going off of somebody else's story. But if you're the believer, you're going off your own testimonies. You're going off of what your experience is, right? Because you've had experiences that have opened your eyes. And now you can't close them again, right? Ooh. Magician, honey. So with this Seven of Cups and the Magician, let's see. Bear with me. Actually, the Magician in front. Yep. Okay. So with this Magician card, actually, let's do like this, like my friend do. Well, let me just bring it up a little bit. I'm sorry. Bear with me. It's new to me too. Well, no, I'm gonna just put it up here. Okay. So this Magician card. The world bestows all blessings provided the means and shows you the ways to achieve your goals and fulfill your desires. Now, it depends only on you how to use these funds, on how ready you are to apply them correctly. So this Magician card is all about the money, honey. This Magician card is saying the world bestows all blessings, provides the means and shows you the way to achieve your goals and fulfill your desires. Now it depends only on you how to use these funds. So guess what? You prayed for it. You manifested it, right? Boom, it came. Within this coming, Spirit's saying, remove those things out of your way that could potentially deter you off of your path, off of what it is that you really want. Because this season is not the season to play around like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it next week. No. If it's on your mind right now, if you feel like you might forget, write it down. Put it in your phone. Put it in your notes. You got so much that you could be doing. You got so many dreams, so many aspirations, but you're not taking note of what it is you want to do. And you just letting every day be every day. Every day has just been going by. So it's like when this comes in, because it's here. When this comes in, honey, they're saying now. Now. Keyword now. Now and the now. Because the present moment is all we have, right? In the now, they said it depends only on you, on how you use the funds. So Spirit is saying that you ain't, guess what? You prayed on you getting that money to get the house. You ain't got to get the house. You ain't got to get it. But just understand, with you not getting that house, remember what it was like when you didn't have what you get what I'm saying. So it's like it's gonna take for you to remember how hard things actually have been. So when this money come in, you're not just blowing this shit. You're not just giving it away. You're not just doing none of that shit. But guess what? This is saying that you're gonna have more than what you asked for. This is a very plentiful card. I look at this as my millionaire card because it is a magician, honey. The money just keeps coming. The whatever it is that you need, it's plentiful. It's predictable. It's all and then more. So it's saying when you get this, make sure that you do what you're supposed to do first. And then after you do what you're supposed to do, then you can do what you want to do. Just because we did what we want to do already. We done fucked off the money many times now. But what did we always say we were going to do with the money that we never actually got around to doing because we were probably hanging around with Pookie and Bubba and them. Or Lisa and Sarah. Or Mike and Whitney. Whoever in the fuck. Okay? Oh, baby. I thank God for you. I thank God for you. Trying to cash in. Actually, I'm doing this for free, honey. Because my cash flow is plentiful. I don't need your donation, sweetheart. Thanks, no thanks. But anyways, yeah, the magician. And I am grateful, because the thing is that if I wasn't that which I am, I wouldn't get these type of remarks because I wouldn't appear to be a threat. When people feel threatened, it's very common. It's very common as a black. Not saying that you're different than a black, but maybe you could. Black sometimes hate on black too. But I'm just saying, hate ain't got no race, boo. But at the end of the day, you need to check that hate. Because people be, that's what I was talking about. People they be so quick to talk about God and know God and and it's like, you talk about people who don't know God, but if you were really coming from if you were coming from a God's place, then you would know that God is love. God is patient, right? He's been patient with you in your ignorance, right? So when God has been patient with people in their ignorance, he's leaving you room for growth. Because he's patient. He's kind. He's kind when he sees that you're an ass. And because you're an ass, you want to go showing your ass in spaces where they don't like ass. They don't like ass. So why would you want to show your ass? Pull your damn pants up and get the stepping, honey. That's what the fuck you can do. Did you know about that? Did you know about get the and stepping that away? The lovers. Because see, the thing is, people's hate tends to be love. People's hate tends to be love. People's hate, that's why they say it's a thin line between love and hate. It's a thin line between love and hate. No. It's a thin line between love and hate, honey. And I think that that's where we meet our oppositions, on that thin line, right? Because the opposition is only an opposition until they compare themselves to you. An opposition don't become your opposition by you doing your own thing and them being happy where they are. A person who's happy where they are, why would they want to be your opposition? They happy. It just doesn't quite make sense. A person who wants to be your opposition, a person who picks on the 1% in the world when they are doing shit, they're striving and trying to get it out the mud. They getting it how they get it, and you just choose to throw a hate campaign because your ass is on fire. And because your ass is on fire, you... Spirit, do y'all want me to talk about this? It's 313 on the motherfucking... It's a thin line between love and hate. Why is it a thin line between love and hate? It's because, honey, if you look at this lover's card right here, and if I pulled out the devil's card and the lover's card look very similar. Because if this is the devil's card, this will be the devil, and these will be two people chained to the devil within their passions and desires. So with that thin line between love and hate, it's like a motherfucker can love the breath. A motherfucker could love your morning breath. A motherfucker could love the things that you would never think somebody would love about you. But let a motherfucker get used to you in that love, and you pull that love away from someone. It's almost like a child being pulled from a mother at birth. It's almost like you being separated. The umbilical cord is cut. It's like once you cut that umbilical cord, the baby goes into panic. The baby goes into crying. The baby gets this real taste of reality and saying, like, I don't have that warmth. I don't have that anymore. And you not having that anymore can leave you to feel a way, even though you don't understand these feelings. You haven't quite processed these feelings because this is your first chance at life. This is your first chance in at life in the world. You're no longer with mama, to where you might suffer from that separation anxiety. That's where it's a thin line between love and hate. Because as much as you can love somebody, if they were to separate from sometimes if you have that good love, it'd be hard for people to separate from you. But then when we talk about thin line between love and hate, just like that hater who just came up in here talking about, I don't know God. See, the thing is, she don't know about love. She don't know about love, and we don't know what God she prays to. So with her telling me that I don't know God, maybe I don't know the God she prayed to. Okay. Maybe that's what I don't know. All I know is that I know what I know, and I use what I know to help other people know themselves. That's what I know. Yeah, Two of Cups. Two of Cups. The Lovers and the Two of Cups, honey, this is very self-explanatory. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do it here, okay? Because I don't want to hear nobody mouth. I ain't. So, okay, Two of Cups. You can experience love in all its varieties of shades. You can share you can share the whole range of emotions with your beloved, both in real and spiritual terms. The higher powers have endowed people with the ability to transmute information in many different ways. Perhaps all of them can and should be used in communication with a loved one. And then the Lovers was here. So, I mean, are you following me here? I'm hoping that you're still here with me. If you guys are still here with me, you haven't double tapped the screen, please go ahead and double tap that screen for me. Your likes are greatly appreciative for me. I don't know who I'm reading for, but we have the Two of Cups and the Lover. So the Two of Cups, if you guys just heard that, if you didn't, you can rewind. I'm going to save this on my channel. That's what we're going to do today, because usually I get a lot of anxiety and I don't like sharing my lives, but I'm going to go ahead and share this one because I'm in a different energy today, you know. Maybe I hope that this message, if it didn't get to the people that it needed to today, the people who needed to see it later, they'll see it later. But so the Lovers and the Two of Cups. Okay, so actually that was the Two of Cups I just read, so let's read the Lovers. The Lovers here, which I've showed you guys. The Lovers. Well, I have to cover it up, they say, even though I hope they don't throw me down for this. But okay. According to the characters, no, I'm sorry. Ooh. Clear it out. Rewind. According to the creator's plan, the lovers are to become a pair of separate personalities, but making up a single whole. To remember, nevertheless, each of them has his or her own destiny and life path. Therefore, any lover must make a choice, rather to firmly link his fate with that of the other, or go his own way, familiar and straightforward. So it's saying, honey, yeah, very much so. You can go on your own path. You can be in your own funk. But when they said that the world has something for you and you have to be open to receive it, this is what they want you to receive. This is what they want you to receive. They want you to receive that partner that you've been longing for, that you even got at a point where you felt like it didn't exist. Even at a point you felt as if it just wasn't for you. Maybe, maybe God has something different for you. Maybe you might even thought, you need to rewind on something that you probably made a decision on. But they're saying that if you make a conscious decision to understand that despite the light just went off, if you make a conscious decision to understand that despite what's happened, you no longer live there, and how the changes that need to come into your life are going to start with you. It's going to start with you on how you resonate with yourself and how you receive. Because as a giver, sometimes givers have hard times receiving sometimes, because most givers haven't been given to first, to where when they have been given to, a lot of times it's like, well, wait, you're looking around, you're looking over your shoulders like, When is the ball going to drop, right? And it's like, no. You got to understand that some things in life are simply for you. And I'm always saying that because it really is. You know, you might think that God really, you might look at somebody's life and say, well, God, wow, you really did your number on them, God. And maybe you might even feel like God forgot about you. But the thing is, when we comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. You never want to compare your life to somebody else's because you never know what the next person is going through. You never know their struggles. You never know their weaknesses. You never know their health. You never know what the fuck somebody going through. So you never want to look at somebody and say, damn, God, you did your number on them, but you ain't work on me. Instead of you looking at it like that, look at it like, well, God had them. So I wonder, how can I get closer to God to where God can have that for me too? And it's not even always about you actually opening the book and getting closer to God. It's about you being intentional in life towards God's children, towards God's people, towards your own path, towards you just being a good individual. You know, you'll be surprised how you being a good individual, you just have certain blessings that just be bestowed upon you. But that's because you're intentional. When you let go of those negative energies that don't supposed to be with you, you make room for energy that has your name on it. And that's why we say some things are simply for you. Absolutely. Absolutely, certain things are simply for you, but it all goes off of your beliefs. If you don't believe it, it's going to be hard for you to achieve it. I'm not going to lie to you. Because as a person who was the black sheep of my family and having it really rough, when my mother passed away, I didn't have any family support. I didn't have none of that shit. But I had to make a conscious decision in saying, is this something I'm going to allow to break me? Or is this something that now I have a point to prove to myself, despite who was or was not there to help me when I felt like I really needed it the most? I owe it to myself to try. Spirit is saying that you owe it to yourself to try again. You might just got a confirmation on your phone. You might just got some type of message, notification from your family. Maybe you need to contact your family about something. You might be at odds with somebody. You know, I made a video once upon a time where I was saying that money breaks up families and friendships quicker than anything today. That's why you don't just go giving out your money. You don't go sharing out your money. I've had friendships with people for over 20 years and we've never exchanged money before. And we become the bestest of friends. At least in my mind, until I realized that, wow, you have an interior motive. You don't know how to ask me for money because you in some way, shape, or form understand. This is not about me. Okay, so let me triple back. Seriously, don't make that about you, but we do speak on our experiences to bring light to other people. But they said, let that one go. You see how easy that was? It's as simple as observing that this thought wants to make its way through my vessel, but therefore, because my vessel is what's connected to the ethers, I'd rather not give that any energy, focus, or fester, because me putting my energy there means that it could potentially manifest. Ooh, that's how true it is. The cards, half the damn deck just split out like that. No. They said never let the left hand know what the right hand doing. And that basically means that you can have a set of friends. It could be 3 of you, which is 3 as a crowd, which I put out earlier. It could be 3 friends. And you could be close to both of these friends, but you could be more closer to this friend than this friend. And with you feeling like you're more closer to this friend, you don't understand how this friend over here has a relationship with this friend over here. And how both of them may be closer to each other, and they might not be as close to you to where they hold their own alliance in some way, shape, or form, to where they might have did some secret shit, and they in on it. They don't even. Where am I going with this, spirit? Why is this coming up right now? It's giving they not even talking right now, but they both did something up against what? I don't want to say that. I'm not about to say that. Y'all know where I was going with that if that's what fits you. But the Hierophant is here. The Hierophant is saying, baby, anything that's going on around you, you already got the answer to. All you got to do is look within, inside of you. The tarot reader, I can sit here and shuffle in these cards. I can pull from different decks. But in reality, it's only so much information I can give you. It's only so much that I can give you. You need to come to terms with knowing that anything that you really, really, truly need to know, you already know. It's here. It's here. It's all about tapping in. It's all about get rid of compromising energy. Get rid of, we're going to, like, say for instance, you can have a group of people and you favor them in a way. You La Familia, I'm hearing family, it might even be. But I'm thinking to myself, like, no matter who it is, if you got some speculations, lean into that speculation. Don't just let a bitch be safe no more. Call shit for what the energy is. Because when we keep allowing people to play safe in our energy, that's not serving us, because in the long run, we need to get rid of these shiesty, scavenge ass motherfuckers from out of our energy before we have this big blessing right here. I am very grateful for this message that you just put here. Garbage food. You just hit it right on the nose. That's what I needed to hear. Thank you. Because sometimes, it's like I know, of course, but, people, sometimes I just have to remind myself that this shit is spiritual. Because people will literally come in your chest and know that you smoking. They might know that you on fire. You really about to look, it's 441. They might know that you are really on to something, but because they see that you on to something, and then I might be exposing their asses. It might be, because there's two sides to every story, right? And the person might feel like they, you know what I'm saying? To where they don't like what they hear. To where, you think you know everything, and then they want to say that, you're not dealing with God. Because what? Is it because it's too real? Is it because what? Because yes, this is God. God is in my cards, honey. Don't do that. But yes, thank you, Garbage Food. That's a funny name. Ever grateful. Ever grateful. I'm truly grateful. What's this message retracted? Let me see what this is. Ooh, somebody was trying to say something and they got blocked out of the group. I don't know if I'm monetized. I don't know. Thank you all for coming in and sharing your energy with me and sitting here with me and resonating with me and listening to what I got to say and things of that nature, because that's what I do it for. I do it for the people. This is free entertainment, It's like, it's not even just that it's entertainment. I'm hoping that I can pull these words through the ethers into the collective, right? Because that's where it comes from. I'm a channel, and I try to use my channel wisely. Oh, didn't I talk about it earlier? Didn't he pop out? I was talking about the Lover's card, and didn't it pop out? That's why they say it's a thin line between love and hate. It's a thin line. Look. It's a thin line between love and hate. It's that thin line right here. You see that thin line? You see how things can just totally turn? And that's why you gotta be careful out here giving your love out. It's like you can let them, you can let them sip on it a little bit, but don't go out here trying to get nobody drunk on love. Drunk in love. You don't want that. Nope. I wouldn't even recommend that. If you want somebody drunk in love, make sure that you're intentional and you're looking at that as your noun forever, because I just heard somebody got that young to where you'll have a bitch crossing states coast and trying to catch up on that ass. I'm hearing track phones and air tag. Trap phones and air tags. I'm just a channel. Drunk in love. Look, came out. Higher self, honey. You gotta tap in. Baby, when I tell you I had so much fun by my damn self, I be in this bitch. I enjoy my own damn company. People can't get in my company like that. Because when people come in with the wrong energy, I'm going to see straight through it. And most people, when they come at me with the wrong energy, it leads me to smoke. It leads me to feel like I got to roll up. I want to smoke. And it's like, no, I don't need to smoke. When I'm in my own energy, I'm good. I'm Gucci. But as an empath, that shit might make you want to roll your boat, bitch, because you'll be thinking like, this bitch don't know that I feel everything that they got going on, but I don't want to look like a weirdo because they're a non-believer, you know. And it's the thing that's so funny, right? Because it's about non-believers, right? And it's like, what if you believe in the wrong damn thing? And you're so at war with your beliefs and what people have forced you to believe to where you won't see it no other way. You just forced to see it your way that you've always seen it. Meanwhile, you have people out here sharing testimonies and showing who they are, putting themselves in jeopardy, you know, putting themselves in a space where they're putting all their gifts on display because it's other people who have gifts as well. And it's only until they know that, wow, I might be like them, that they actually discover themselves. That's what I do it for. Trust me, even though I was always this because, yeah, it's in me. But as a kid, trying to tell adults certain things, they would always tell me, stay in a child's place. And why is that? It's because I was, you know, when I was 7 years old, I remember taking a trip to the store with my aunt. And it was kind of like a blizzard. I just remember a very heavy wind coming in. But within that heavy wind, I guess that's when my consciousness came in as well. And something whispered into me around the age of 6 and 7. That I was born into the wrong family. It whispered to me that I was born into the wrong family. And as a kid, that used to startle me because it's like, why am I thinking like this? But then later on throughout my experience, I realized how much trauma I had to endure. I realized how much shit that I actually had to face and go through just to wound up this person of character that you see today. Because sometimes I think, had I had all that love from my parents, that was required, that was needed. Sometimes it's the love that you don't receive that makes you just, how can I put it? It's like, okay, maybe I wasn't loved as a child, but me not being loved as a child didn't make me not want to love in the world. It didn't deter me from who God wanted me to be. And see, that's the thing, is that when people say, for instance, the average person who goes through some shit like that, where they wasn't loved as a child, they'll grow up hating the world. They'll grow up wanting to pick fights with people. They'll grow up being a bully. They'll grow up doing all these things because they didn't get the assignment. They didn't understand that they were being tested the whole time. The test was to endure all these pains, to go through that fire, to turn out of the fire as the phoenix rising from the ashes. But see, that's the thing. People are not willing to go through that fire. So they rather throw other people in the fire. But baby, when I tell you, the fire does the skin good, honey. Because then you get tough skin, honey. You get that type of skin where it's like, honey, higher self. Let's just keep tapping out. Higher self, honey, it's giving, yeah, move on to better. Yeah. They said moving on to better, honey, it's not enough. Moving on to better is not enough. You need to be moving on inwards so that you can unlock that to where you'll understand what really matters in this thing called reality. You'll understand the real matter in your experience as a human being. You will no longer give people the courtesy of face value. People will have to show up with integrity. People will have to be intentional and consistent. And those are 3 things that are very hard to get from people today. But it's something that's free. It's something so simple, but it's hard to goddamn get. Okay, we got BWC. I didn't want to show it, but I said it, you know, it's just like BWC, but it's just like BC, but we have BWC. Y'all know how to pull that apart, put it how you want. We have the Ankh, which means life. And you know what? I'm glad this card just came out because Miss Christian, who wanted to come in here talking about how I don't know God because I'm shuffling in these cards, I need you to understand that this Ankh, honey, this Ankh right here, this Ankh, You see that? Let me see. You see it? Yeah. This Ankh represents life. Okay? The Ankh represents life. No shade to the people who didn't know. And let me hold your hand while I tell you this. But this Ankh represents life. That cross represents the crucifixion of a man. We are not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same. Somebody could be 5'9". They said shots fired. We are not the same. Blank page, yep. It's giving dead end. Try your mama. Try motherfucking extra sketch. Try a new hobby. Try a new color. But don't try me, okay? Let's not do that. Because what trailblazer they said? Why would they want to come on here and do, why would they want to play with the deadline? Why would they want to, me out of all? Capricorn? Do they not? What? Okay. Spray. Thank you for the hate. Okay. Anyway, trailblazer, they say. Whew. They said somebody's trailblazing is going to cause somebody to be in devastation. Because no matter what they did, they just couldn't wake up early enough. They couldn't get enough overtime. They just couldn't find the solutions or the ways to come up against the goat. What's a sheep to a goat? What's a sheep to a goat? Okay, you a Capricorn? Yeah. Cappy gang in the it's like, yeah. Okay, yeah, period. Trailblazer. Completeness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to be completing something, and whatever the fuck that is that you're going to be completing, honey, it's going to be a transformation. You completing something is going to be a transformation, and it's going to lead somebody into devastation. Why is it that people's evolution and progress leads other people into devastation? Those people who are led into devastation, 9 times out of 10 were so focused on you, they didn't know how to focus back on themselves. And because they were focused on you and you just keep steady getting farther and farther and farther, them focusing on you, it could have been some type of spell work. It could have been people coming up against you. It could have been people trying to get you in a space where you self-sabotage because they can't whoop your ass, because they can't step to you, because they know that they know what they know. To where they try to do things, throw rocks, hide their hand. Well, it's going to leave their asses devastated, because guess what? Touch not my anointing, and there will always be a ram in the bush. Talk about don't know God. Girl, what? I'm sorry. Let me get off this energy, because I don't like that, okay? Mutt. Honey, she came out. She said, being ordinary. And they said, be ordinary. But be powerful on purpose, like my girl Tarot on Decks, honey. Go watch. Go check her out. My good girlfriend Tarot on Decks, honey. She's on Facebook, YouTube. She's practically almost everywhere, okay? But it says Tarot, TAROTONDEX. Go check my girl out. Also, another good one, Shavi Zane, CHHAVI ZAINE, I believe, or Shavi Zane. Do your best to put her name in. I hope that I'm not saying it the wrong way, but she is another good teacher. She's a really good leader. She definitely got some stuff that you want to see over there on her channel. Also, Linda Likes Tarot. You know, she was the motivation for me to make my cards like this. I like to give shots out to people who inspire me, right? Because I don't lose anything from doing that. Wisdom, right? Because those people who inspire me also opened up and unlocked some form of wisdom that lay doormat within inside of me. So me sitting here telling y'all to go look at them, that's saying that I'm not greedy, honey. Go on over there. See what they got for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only do so much. You know? If you want to build you a spiritual team, putting you on game, Cappy, and whoever else is up in here who's afraid to speak, I see you. Overqualified, honey. Those people who I just named are overqualified. Okay? And go see my girl Blue Rose Tarot. Okay? It's so many of them, right? So the thing is, don't just get caught up looking on me, honey. Go find where, and come on back. Tell me how it worked out for you, right? Because when you're a person of Southern hospitality, we don't lose nothing by sharing what's good. Because I know that with me pointing you in the right direction, that's me being intentional, saying that somebody else needs to hear this. Somebody else needs this. Why aren't we all like this? I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't understand a gatekeeper. Why would you want to keep a gate? Why would you want to stay at the gate when you could be playing in the yard? I'm sorry. But yeah, those people who I just named are overqualified. And I think that with you looking over into that direction over there, you might find of course, you may be already overqualified in your own field. But I feel like we've always if you have room for improvement, there is improvement that you can be had. Thank you. And excuse me for how I riddle and buttle my words, honey, but you got to follow me clear. I'm not pulling out this card right now. I spy with my little eye someone smoking weed in Times Square. And then they have I spy in Aquarius, but only if you're approachable. Oh, that's funny because I don't even talk about me. Aquarius. This Aquarius, or whoever's in this Aquarius energy, wants to give you better than what you've been through. Show you something new. I just heard, tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what I want. I wanna. Ziggy, wanna. I just heard that. I don't know. That's Spice Girls. They said, give you better than what you've been through. Somebody want to zig. Okay. I like that. They said it's a girl, so I might be talking to a guy out here. It's a girl who wants to give to you. And then we have the Lover's card sitting right here just staring at me because I didn't throw her back in the deck. But the Lover's card just stayed right here. Out of all the cards that I put up, that card is still sitting right here. And they said it's a girl. She's wanting to give you love. Will this be recorded? Because I want to finish watching this. Yes, I'm going to keep this on my page. It'll be on the page. Thank you for watching. Yes, feel free to go and I'll be sure to keep it on my page. Yep. So this girl may be a gardener. She might live in a studio or have a studio of her own. She might be a dancer. She might be a stylist, a hairstylist, something where you deal with people for money. It's like you could be a hairstylist. You could be a nail tech. You could be a makeup artist. You could be doing something where you have customers. This person who has the studio, they might have their own business. It's a girl who could be a gardener, or she could have a studio, or she could have a lot of plants or like to plant. We see waste of time. Either this person was a waste of time, or let me see. Because we got true blood and waste of time here. So true blood and waste of time is kind of giving like you've been around somebody who might even be your true damn blood and they wasted your damn time. And they sitting out here wanting to play the blame game about something. Oh, I just got where this resonates with me, but I don't know how this might resonate with you. But it's giving studio gardener, true blood, Waste of time and blame game. Studio Gardener, True Blood, waste of time. True Blood. What else can I get from True Blood? True Blood is family. Also, True Blood is vampiric. You know, because when I think about True Blood, I think about the show True Blood that came on. I think it was HBO or something like that in the time frame. But yeah, True Blood was also vampires. So what I'm getting here is Studio Gardener, vampire, waste of time, blame game. So this person could have been sucking on your energy, pulling on your life force energy, pulling on your creativity, and y'all probably was partnered up to try to do something together, but they probably was plotting and scheming behind the scenes. And within them plotting and scheming, they're playing the blame game on you as to why things didn't work out. That's what I got. Somebody is playing the blame game, but regardless of who wants to play the blame game, once you be honest with your experience, right, you're going to trailblaze that whole shit. Once you be honest about what needs to occur on you moving forward, you're going to blaze that trail. You're going to be back on your pedestal, right where you belong, in real time. The real thing, in real time. They said, remember who you are. Look, real love. I heard it earlier. I bullshit you not. Before I pulled this card, I was hearing Mary J. Blige, real love. I'm searching for a real love. Maybe someone said, let me just keep pulling from these cards because I don't want to do the maybe until I pull more. Real love. Okay, so then it did come out. Because I was going to say, maybe this could be a real love after you went through something in some type of way where you noticed that something showed you what love isn't, right? And it says a lack of care. So whatever this past love was, they probably showed ways of... They probably went out their way to show you that they didn't care. They probably went out their way to really cause some type of condition for you where... The Lover's card is still here. They caused some type of condition where you had to choose self-love. Look, out there getting massages and stuff, you figured that I got to get all this tension, all this energy up off of me. I gotta find a way to get them out of my energy. I just heard Carrie Hilson. This love is my energy. Wait a minute. Is that the song? Carrie Hilson? What was that? Energy? Blank page. Look, then took all the damn energy. Whoever you went to go get this massage from, you probably went to go get you some Reiki healing. And within that Reiki, it's then cleared your whole slate from whatever that hurt and whatever that leverage was that person probably thought that they had on you. Honey, from them shots fired, playing with your heart like that, thinking that you was a game, revolving door, honey, you could probably be 5'9". This person could be 5'9". Confirmation Burke. Yeah, they were a needy fling. They say your silence lasts so long. Tell them to hold their breath. If they're thinking that you're going to go forgiving some fuck shit that a motherfucker was plotting and scheming in your face, showing you one thing while meaning another. Having to heal from something like that, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, because you do have people in the world today who think as if they're like actors, right? Motherfuckers watch movies and they learn how to act, right? Motherfuckers learn how to plot and scheme on people, good people. And then when they do that, they think they got away with something, but in reality, that was marked by the ethers. The universe has that in record. That's now in your Akashic, honey. You out here playing with people. That is in your record now. And guess what? The universe is, yeah, very much so. I see Space Jam. Space Jam, even though it says Sam Tom, I've seen Space Jam. So it's like the universe is jamming someone else's blessings all around for coming up against what God had for you. Somebody probably is on the train. Or maybe you need to go train for something. Maybe you need to get some type of something, some type of information. Train time. Because that train time is like you're training for something. Maybe it's time to train. Maybe you're in the military. Maybe it's time for you to. I don't want to. They said April, May, June. We're in April tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yep. April is tomorrow. Happy April. Yeah. Yeah. April, May, June. Ooh. No. Okay, wait. Let me go back. Because train time. Your silence lab. Needy flame. Oh shit. I just figured it out. 5'9" gunshots. Needy flame. Yeah, this is somebody in the military. Sam or Tom. Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom. I'm getting train time. It's something about the military. April, May, June. Yeah. And then we have you were right. Face ass. So what I'm getting is something about the military, something about deploying, something about something. You were right. I don't like to be right about shit like that. I'm ready for it to be over with because it don't even got no damn business being started anyway. They said, look in and discover. Look in and discover an overseas account. Baby, I don't wish this on my worst enemy, but if anybody got you fucked up, you need to go get you a second opinion on this message, honey. 1 in a billion. Overseas account, 1 in a billion. You might got some millions and billions out there. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I don't know who's gonna see this message. But an overseas account, 1 in a billion. Something about this may be significant. Somebody might have manipulated somebody into giving them money because they put it down. They had somebody in a headlock. Look, with these strong emojis down here at the bottom, somebody was in the headlock taking some type of back shot from, yeah. And they had rammed it up in there like that to where they had fucked around and used that wand on them. Now they done got all the keys to the accounts. Damn, why did this? Woo, spirit. Okay. Woo. This is coming in too fast for me right now. I'm sorry, because I'm kind of getting a little whiplash, you know, because I made these cards because, you know, being a Claire, when you're a Claire, when you're a channel, honey, sometimes you just sit in your zen and you just write things down and then you put them all together and it makes a big picture. It makes sense. I would recommend people who have their own situations where they want to, you know, find something out. Make you some flashcards. Show them up. Add the divine, and you'll get your time. You. Somebody was putting it down though, but then they have big pharmacy, big pharmaceutical, big farm out here putting it down. Big farm. Ooh. Woo. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay, spirit. Do y'all want me to talk about that? Oh, shit. Okay. They said do it live because I feel like I'm shadow banned in some way, shape, or form for speaking on this before, so I'm going to do it live. My phone is about to die, so I'm about to close this out. But before I go, we got putting it down and big harm pharmacy. So big harm pharmacy and putting it down. What I got from this is that during the pandemic, they shut down the government. They gave us OnlyFans. People got on OnlyFans. People mentally thinking that, oh, I have an audience to obtain. Them trying to keep up with this audience. They started doing different acts of service in ways where they weren't using protection to keep a certain fan base. And within them trying to keep this specific fan base, they wound up catching something. having to go to Big Farm to cure it. But then Big Farm, their whole plan was to give you porn, to give you this new, put you in this lifestyle where you have sex for views and things of that nature, and then you can just, they're going to put you on the P word, you know, that big blue pill that they're all talking about. They're trying to give it to everybody now. They say it's not just for homosexuals, it's for everybody. Women can take it, anybody can take it. You can fuck anybody whenever. It's all for the, all about the money. Dollar bills, y'all, yeah, because they said Big Farm putting it down. So what they did was they shut down the government, gave people who were in distress OnlyFans. But then them giving people in distress OnlyFans, the people figured that that was an outlet. They made a lot of money during it, right? But then these people who get these platforms, they wound up feeling like they have an audience to appease. So then they wound up doing things with strangers and catching things with the government, and knowing the mind of the people. They very much so had a plan. That's why I'm saying Big Farm putting it down. Yeah, so they said, yeah, y'all can fuck as much as y'all want to. And that zap that they gave people probably made people more hypersexual. It was a big plan. It made people more hypersexual, and it made it to the point where people now, they figure that this is my lifestyle, this is who I am. So then they figure, well, we can give you a pill and you can do whatever you want to do as long as you take the pill. Because now they're pushing it. It's being pushed. It's being pushed everywhere. It's being pushed on all platforms. That you can do what you want to do and be who you want to be as long as you take this pill right here. And it's like, people don't know that you could just use a fucking condom. People don't know that you could just be celibate. You could just don't do a goddamn thing. You could just be traditional and want somebody who really just wants you back and just try to do the whole marriage thing and just be with that one person. You could. But they make it seem like, oh, that's played out. That's out of style. They make that seem like, oh, why would I do that when I can have the world? Almost like King Alon's energy. Okay. Moving on from that energy. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I hope y'all got that story right there, because that was a download that I got for quite some time of the cause and the effect. Because I had got the vision long ago that I was supposed to tell the people not to get that jab, but then I figured, shit, the people going to, you know, they're not going to listen to me. My own people didn't listen to me. So I figured, shit, my own people don't listen to me. That discouraged me from taking it to the big screen, to where here we are 4 years later, and I'm still trying to get these messages out, and I'm still trying to reach to my audience. But it's like, that just shows you that when we procrastinate, when we wait till the next day, wait. What comes to a person who's waiting? Time wasted. That's what comes to a person who's waiting. It's time wasted. Time that you can't get back. So it's best to act accordingly, to make sure that you giving yourself the root. They said, give me what I need. So that you're giving yourself what you need. Acting accordingly. When you get those nudges that I should be doing this, that's what's going to get you to have holiday every day. You actually showing up in this world in alignment. Because people will always want to get the bag, right? But you don't know how much you being in alignment, you being of service to the world, you showing up as your purpose. Because all of us have a purpose. All of us have a purpose. All of us have a purpose. And that's why they make it seem like it's about going to school and you spend all this time investing in these careers and these things and these things. But it's all to keep you distracted from their whole plan that they've had for forever. And it's always been a plan. They're very strategic. But to a thinker, you always get your answers if you're a thinker. Look, Uno in reverse. So I don't know if this message just put their whole plan into Uno in reverse. Hopefully this video goes viral, so people can put 2 and 2 and 3 and 3, and then they make 3, 6, 9, and then we get on it. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. I'm deeply appreciative of that. But this has actually been laying on my spirit for quite some time. That's the world we live in. We live in a world today where people have lost their morality And with everything that's coming to light right now, people just rather turn the other cheek because they know that if they really face it, they're going to see exactly the problem that they play in the whole situation if they actually face it. So because they couldn't dare see the problem that they are a part of, they just turn the other cheek. They just keep telling themselves how blessed they are to be in America because they could have been somewhere else. They just keep telling people, yeah, confirmation. They consistently sit up under the news every day and say, wow, it's going crazy over there. Oh, I'm glad to be an American. I'm glad to be over here because you wouldn't want to be over there. And it's like, I wouldn't want to be a person of power and authority and sit on it and don't do shit with my life and sit up and talk about how fucked up the world is. I wouldn't want to be. I would hate that for me. To literally have all this power and authority to where I can use my vessel, I can use my voice, I can use my avatar and show up in this 3D realm with the 5D information. Then they call you crazy. It's like, no. Any conspiracy was ever, they said, pump your bitch, pump your brakes. Okay. Shh. Shut up. This is a new channel. I don't want to lose this one. I do not want to lose me channel. No, why would I want to do that? That's what they want me to do. That's why they want me to just blurt it out, and then it's gonna be, oh, shun her, off with her head. It's like, the fuck, honey. The truth shall be televised. And I feel like maybe in my past life, I was a truth speaker. I was a truth teller. I was a person who always tried to pave ways for other people to find freedom. Freedom in mind, freedom of thought, freedom of, freedom of their circumstances. Because a lot of times we be trapped to our circumstances, not knowing how free we really are. But it's only because we're so attached to the material. It's only because we're so attached to, well, if I do fall, they don't want to laugh at me. And it's like, so what, bitch? Let them motherfuckers laugh. The motherfuckers who laugh, and those ain't your people anyway. So you need to let them bitches laugh at you. So you know that this next season, when you come from that laughing state where they tried to motherfucking make a mockery of you, that thin line between love and hate, them admiring you and how you make things look so effortless, but because they hate the fact that they don't have that same thing, that's that thin line. Ooh, I'm smooth. It's a thin line between love and hate. Say it again. Oh, thank you so much. Very grateful. That's a very kind thing of you. I'm grateful for that feedback. I'm truly grateful for that feedback. Because, the thing is, even though I haven't always heard people tell me how great I am, that never stopped me from reaching my greatest potential. Because at the end of the day, when I don't see competition, I only see me. And when I don't see competition, I only see where I can improve in my life. Because it's my life. Why would I want to be like the next person? Me trying to keep up with the next person? I'm only going to be able to keep up with them for so long until I figure that I'm stuck at a fork in the road and now I don't know what they would do. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you get all the way following someone else's trail? They ditched your ass and now you lost. Because you was never on your own goddamn journey. And that's why with the Lovers card, it said that two lovers, two people with their own destiny coming together, either choosing to be one and making a sacrifice within their life, knowing that they probably should do something else. They probably should be somewhere else. But because they decide to be one, they come together. And that's a major sacrifice, coming together with somebody. No matter how much you think that you're gaining something, life could always be something different. And you'll never know how different it was if you settle. I don't know how I'm speaking or where I'm speaking to or where it's coming through. I feel it. It's actually quite intimidating because this is the side of myself that I don't allow to show. Oh, God. Okay, I'm right. Thank you. Oh. Because it's like, the energy just been so intense. And it's just like, I just need to learn how to allow the energy just to flow through me. Because the thing is, to be less of ourselves, to remove that ego, we allow God to show up. We allow God to use our vessels. And usually when I do that, that's those moments when it'll be like, I'll say something and I don't remember what the hell I just said because it wasn't really me. It wasn't me. That was spirit speaking through me. They said move in together. They said busty and lusty. Somebody was putting it down. Oh, busty and lusty and meltdown. Move in together, busty and lusty, meltdown. Who's having a meltdown? It's a villain superstar. No, that's not me. I'm not having a meltdown. I'm just gonna, I mean, these just the cards that fell out. I probably shouldn't even have read them, but I'm just gonna. They said, wait, no, slow down. So if somebody forgot something that I'm saying, let me know. Or you could just go back and watch the video. But yeah, we were talking about that mark of the. I don't know sign language, but if I was to learn sign language, I'd be like, show me what does beast mean. I wonder what that looks like in sign language. It's funny. Well, it's not funny. I mean, I would just like to know. Ooh. All right, so that's what I got for you guys today. Feel free to join the channel. You know, feel free to be a subscriber of mine. Feel free to look at my previous videos that I have on there. You might find something in some way, shape, or form that can help, because that's my mission. That's the gift, is to be of service to the divine and get the divine in alignment. And that's the best I ask for. Nope, I don't have no information on those type of things. But one thing I can say is be careful where you give your energy to. If you want it to be a great outcome, then think what would be the greatest outcome. I could tell you that if you're trying to experience better, change how you think. Change how you think. Nobody said it would be easy. But when you can understand that you're not thinking like yourself, when you can understand that you're coming from a space where it's unfamiliar energy, you're walking in unfamiliar territory. This isn't the typical energy that you would portray or would choose to be in. How to shift from that, how to say, well, this is what it is, but this shouldn't be it. Let me go back to this, right? Because we were also earlier talking about the thin line between love